Aaron has passed 6 years. He begins his journey with Choa Chu Kang before joining NTU, and he believes in actively visiting other clubs to do speaking roles and to learn. Okay, the number of clubs he has to date. More than 100 across Singapore, Malaysia, and China. He also believes in sharing with what he has learned from his Toastmaster journey with others. He is privileged to have been invited to do workshops for more than 350 Toastmasters in Singapore and in China. Right, he has also served as the club vice president of education, club president. He is the immediate past division director, and in his leadership journey, he had the privilege of learning with and learning from all of you. So everybody, raise your hands and welcome immediate past Division D Director, DTM Aaron Ting.
Hi, wonderful evening. It's not evening, sorry. Afternoon, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron. I'm very privileged to be able to do this sharing today. So I hope everybody can learn something from my experiences, and I hope that it'll be useful to you as you think about perhaps your past leadership journey or think about embarking on an upcoming leadership journey. So this was introduced earlier by Shansha, so I'll skip this. So before I talk about my experiences as a Division D director, let me first talk about how I got started. Right, so this was me like probably when I was 12 years old, more than 10 years ago. Yeah, so back then I was this was a speechcraft event, right? So Toastmasters clubs, we usually have speechcraft where we teach members the basics of writing a speech and all that. So essentially, I'm a second generation Toastmaster because my dad was a Toastmaster at Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters Club, and that was how I got started. So I got started by watching my dad do his project speeches, by attending speechcrafts, right? Because my dad dragged me there, and after going through all these, I thought, hey, this at 12 years old, I thought this thing was quite cool. This Toastmasters thing seems quite cool. Maybe I should join it, in the future when I'm able to. And of course, when I joined it in 2014, and everything, it started from there lah. So where am I now? I serve as a club president. So this was at the installation ceremony, and the other handsome gentleman is my predecessor. So we usually have this, other than the swearing in, right? We say the pledge or the roles and responsibilities of each EXCO. Then you say we will, I do, right? And we also have this ceremony whereby we help each other to pin on the pins, the president and the past president pin, and this as well as present the immediate past president will present a plaque to the incoming president. So this was the ceremony. And division director, which I just finished my term in June and handed over to Shanshan. And of course, I achieved this in 2018. Yeah, December 2018, before I went to Beijing for my exchange. So before I talk about my experience as a Division D director, perhaps I'd like to share a little bit, or try to share about my experiences as a leader in Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters, because I believe that is that is the first area in Toastmasters where I got to really learn about what Toastmasters is all about, and of course, what leadership in Toastmasters is all about. And all these lessons really proved quite helpful for me in my subsequent serving as the Division D director, because there are many similarities, many parallels. So this is a segment of our club presidents. So obviously, as you can see, I'm probably the youngest there. Yeah, everyone else there has probably at least 5, 10, 20 years of working experience. So I would say that it was quite scary, at that point in time to step into this world of leadership in Toastmasters, because I was new. Right? At that time, I was a university student, year 2. Year 1 when I became the VP, and year 2 when I became the club president. So one of the things that I had to learn in my job is how to get get people to really respect me as a leader, right? Because why should someone who has more experience in society listen or follow the lead of young punk, right? So that was something I really had to contend with as a club president, to be able to get the respect of my fellow members as well as of the fellow seniors in our club, because we had many seniors who were not only experienced in society but also very, very experienced in Toastmasters leadership. So there was a lot I had to learn from them. So one of the things I really learned was to be able to try to gain my respect from them, as well as adapting to the environment. And so one of the things I did a lot in my term is I really ever hit home this message to members. If you want to improve in your public speaking skills, you have to go out and do clubs today. Right? And this is a message I repeated in every single opening address that I did during that term. So every single opening address and closing address, I always reminded the members, please go and visit clubs. Right? Just staying in our club and doing speeches or evaluations in our club won't help you that as much or as fast as if you were to be able to go outside. Because you really improve by leaps and bounds if you can get to visit outside clubs. So I led by example on this front, and I really visited outside clubs. And I posted pictures on social media and sent pictures to our club WhatsApp group. So one of the ways in which I really did my best and tried to gain the respect of older, more senior members in the club was really lead by example. Right? Whatever I said, whatever I encouraged members to do, I did it myself. And club visiting is one such example, which I gained the leadership, tried to gain the respect of the members in my club. And of course, the term, although there were a lot of trials and tribulations, but I guess overall for me, the term went well because we were really, at least for that term, I saw that my members, after I started to actively promote, or that my members really started to visit more clubs. We have newer members as well as some of the existing members. We really took the initiative to ask me, hey, how can I visit clubs? Right? And I even brought along some of these members to visit clubs with me. So that was really a heartening experience, and I learned a lot about leadership in my stint as the club president of Church Toastmasters. Right, interacting with members, interacting with the senior members of our club, as well as really try to lead by example so that I can gain the respect of fellow members in my club. And this was one of the more successful events that we had. So every year, Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters, we have an overseas club exchange. We'll visit an overseas club, have a joint meeting with them, and after that, of course, we will be tourists. We will play tourists and we will tour the city with the members. So this was a very successful joint meeting that in my term, where I brought my members to Xiamen. So this was a joint meeting with Xiamen Toastmasters Club. And in fact, it was not just a joint meeting with Xiamen Toastmasters Club, but because they shared this event with the fellow clubs in their area, so the attendance on that day was staggering. Like you could see that the entire room is packed. There were a lot more people, like a lot of them actually left earlier already. So this is just a segment who managed to stay behind in time for the photo taking. So this was a really successful event that I brought my members to. And also one of the skills that I learned in Toastmasters is to really organize events, especially an event like this. Because as a Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters, this is a signature event that all presidents will organize in the last month or the second last month of their term, right? In May or June, we usually will go for our exchange. So event organizing, right? Because you have to check the etiquettes, you have to encourage your members, right, to purchase, which is the right etiquette to purchase, coordinate details like, oh, want everybody to be the same flight, what, right? And the hotel. Then you also have to find the contact of the members on the other side. You also had to do a lot of liaison, coordination, planning for unexpected events, right? And when you go there, you also have to plan for tour. So there were a lot of things you have to coordinate. And I think event organization is really one of the skills that I learned as well. And it really brought me in good state when I later became the Division D director. So, of course, the learning lesson one is really to be, these are the three short summaries, but really the learning lesson is really to be more accommodating to different interests, right, to the different life experiences of people, because members of my club, they came from all walks of life, all sorts of experiences. So I had to, like I said earlier, right, respect. How do I gain the respect of these members? So I had to consider a lot of things, and these are really the important things that I have learned. So in my subsequent stint as the Division D director, so similar thing, I was in year 4 of university, my final year, and of course, as you can see, my team members were all older than me, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 members, right? So the skills that I've learned in accommodating, in considering that people in my team came from different walks of life, and I had to respect in order to gain the respect of them. I had to do things in a certain way. And of course, what I've learned is my stint as a Choa Chu Kang club president really helped me in this regard. So one of the things, one of the new things I have learned in my stint as building on to what I've learned as Choa Chu Kang president, right? So one of the things I've learned as Division D director is really to be more creative, right? Because as we all know, COVID-19 hit us this year, and we had to shift all our activities online. So when all our activities shift online, naturally the dynamics and the tendencies shifted. But in this challenge of organizing online contest or online event, okay, one thing is that you can invite overseas people to attend, people who are based overseas rather to attend. So for online contests that we had, so let me talk about online contests, right? So for the online contests that we had, obviously for contests, right, be it online or offline, one biggest problem is always finding judges, right? As a division director or area director, you're organizing a contest, you are working together with your chief judge. One biggest problem is always finding judges, because from the area level onwards, if people are competing, they can't be a judge. At club level, you can be a judge of another club's contest, so long as you're not a member of that club. You can be a judge or a chief judge. But for an area level onwards, you can't, right? There are much more restrictions on the rules. So to be creative, to solve this problem, I tapped on my overseas contacts that I've made while I was in China, right? So this mainly my contacts, friends that I made while I was in China, and I actually invited some of them, some not pictured, to help me out as a judge, right, during our club area contest or division contest, and they were really helpful because I had all range of members. I had ordinary members who were good speakers. I also had fellow division directors, some of whom I became really good friends with while I was over in Beijing. I was able to invite some of them to help me, and of course to solve the problem of judges. So I guess while an online contest may bring about a new set of challenges, but for me I see it as an area where I can exercise creativity in solving a problem, and in this case it will be to solve the problem in finding judges. And I was glad that this was a skill that I was able to practice and pick up during my stint as a division director. And of course, she's in the audience. So another thing I really learned and picked up in stint was to really work together with someone very thoroughly and very patiently on the project. So Catherine, I brought her into my team as an area director. I was a division D director. I brought her into my team because I really admire her spirit of lifelong learning, right? At 80 years old, she tells me that she makes an passionate request to me to help her, right? Because she wants to get a distinguished Toastmaster. And she says that, as long as, because she wants to be active and continue to deliver speeches and contribute leadership roles, right? So one of the things she wanted to do was to get a DTM. The old track, yeah? So the old track is going to end probably in next year, June. So I worked together with her for a very long time, not only on her speeches, not only on her role as area director, but on her role as a to speak, to organize events, right? Because I really remembered that few occasions where I really went over to Catherine's house and we really worked there, and I taught her how to go into the page, how to log in, how to submit area director report, right? How to navigate between the various sections to submit the area director report, and subsequently we had to organize a Zoom contest, right? The Zoom contest I mentioned earlier. So it was not very easy for Catherine because technology is something that not every one of us can master. So when we first started and we had to go on Zoom, of course it was naturally more difficult for her. But I'm glad that she was really willing to learn. I think that's the most important thing. She was really willing to learn new skills, such as in this case being able to use Zoom meetings. And I think in fact, you can say that she's as proficient as anyone in the audience listening, right, in terms of using Zoom, how to log in to the meeting, how to on your camera, how to how to on your mic, how to share a screen, what not to do, right? So I guess she really picked up a lot of new skills during this time, and I believe this would be very helpful for her. Because not just in Toastmasters, but in subsequent other events where Zoom had to be used, I think it really helped her a lot. So one of the other things I've learned in Toastmasters is in this case would be to really work with someone, right, one-on-one, and to really solve problems that come along the way. The dynamic is really different compared to if you are, leading a club of many members, or you're working with a small team of 10. Working one-on-one is very different, right? Especially, I think before this, I wasn't very close with Catherine. Even though we were members of the same club, Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters, I think we didn't really talk that much to each other, except for starting when I was the VP and president. That's where we started to converse a little bit more and had a little bit more interactions. And subsequently, of course, we became closer, and she came to me and asked me to help. And I said, okay, why not? And now she's well on the way, almost hitting a DTM. Just doing her last leadership role right now, almost there. So it's really enjoyable working process. And now really I'm very close with her, and I think I always tease her, right? She's the resident teenager of Choa Chu Kang Toastmasters, as we always call her affectionately. Right? So this is something I've really took out of this experience. So of course, the same learning lessons is just that in this case I picked up more new skills, right? To be more creative in creative and adaptable in solving problems. Of course, to be more considerate and more patient. Because in a one-on-one situation, things are more apparent. Right? You have to be more patient and be bold. So this is something I've really learned. And of course, to summarize my experience, I think really looking back, I wouldn't have been able to successfully serve my term as club president, nor serve my term as division director, if not for the support of my team. Because I'm just one person, right? One person, I can't do everything. And especially at a point in time when my teammates were really, really much more experienced than me. So I had to tap on their experience to really to solve problems, right? To organize events for the club, or to organize events for the division, and to help Division D do well, so that I can hand over the division in a good state to Shan Shan, right? So really, team is very important, and I was very glad that I was able to work together with such a strong team in order to be able to achieve that. And of course, at the club level as well, right? Be it the club, the members of the Chicago Toastmasters or the Toastmasters in Division D, right? Their support is extremely important as well. And to add, before I end off, very famous painter once said, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." I think this quote really epitomizes the importance of teamwork, the importance of being able to work well with every single one in order to achieve success and to bring, to help the members, to help our members. Because at the end of the day, as leaders in Toastmasters, we help our members to achieve their educational goals, right? To be better speakers, to be better communicators, to be better leaders, to be better listeners, and so on. And we have to work together to be able to achieve that. Future plans, of course, I will definitely be interested to move up the ladder and run for club growth director in the future. But we'll see on that, how well I progress in my contest journey. And yeah, but you'll definitely see me back on the leadership track soon. And yeah, if you have, if you'd like to connect, here are my, most of you I think already have my contact details, but for those who don't and you would like to connect with me, here's my WeChat, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, and that I'm done. And let me now move on to our next